Week 10, New York Jets against Las Vegas Raiders. Let's get to this. Right now, it's showing the odds are showing them even. I'm suspecting that's showing even because the Raiders played really well yesterday. Uh, Granted, they were playing a very poor Giants team, but the fact that they put up 30 points for the first time all season, especially after benching Jimmy G and firing their GM and their head coach, makes people wonder. Maybe they actually found some winning things that had been there the whole time and they just hadn't used. Meanwhile, you have a Jets team that I think people oftentimes look at Zach Wilson, and again, their passing game is not great, but that notwithstanding, they look at Patrick Wilson and I'm sorry, Zach Wilson, and say, they must be horrible just because of him, and I think that's a bit too much of a bias there. So with that, I'm going to take the Jets. The Raiders may have just had been having a good day, and Daniel Jones went down early in that game, and there's just really not much to the Giants. So maybe they were pumped up, and the Giants were just having that bad day. But let's just go back to what the numbers say that the teams are what they are. So with that, the model is saying that the Jets have about a 65% chance of winning, saying it should be a low scoring game, saying that there's a propensity for the Jets to put up some points, but overall should still be that's that skewing that you see, whereas you see a bit more of a normal distribution here for the Raiders. Then and then when you come over here to the confidence interval, you don't see any overlap at all between the upper end of the median there and the lower end, or mean, I should say, in the lower end there. So it's saying the model is saying that Jets should win, and not a whole lot of difference in that over here when you come to our Bayesian analysis. So not much correction is necessary in that case. Uh, so with that, with it even, I'm going to take the Jets. The one thing I point out is the Jets, they're going to rely on the rushing game, and they have overall what's a pretty good defense. And with that, the Raiders, we'll see if they found lightning in a bottle. So last week it looked like they can pass, but again, they were playing the Giants. I'm not sure how much I would take into that. They they have some similar uh, 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 makeup, I would say perhaps, in that they've got two areas where they're weak in, an area that they're pretty good in here with that pass defense. But I'm really not expecting the Jets to try and pass all that much. And why would you try and pass when you have a solid rushing game and you're going against a team with a poor rushing defense? So with that, we'll see what the Raiders really. I think what the X factor is really who are the Raiders? Were they really a good team and Josh McDaniels just didn't know how to coach them? That could be. Could be a fun one to watch. It could be a low scoring, boring game. So looking at the number that they do have, is that matchup, that defense, that good rushing offense against a poor rushing defense is really where you see that biggest difference right there. Then likewise, is also showing that it's expecting New York to be able to pass the ball better than what the Raiders have been. That's been this year with mostly Jimmy G leading the Raiders offense as well. Looks like they're going to be switching horses. Should be fun to watch. I would definitely give that a look-see as well. Couple things though is you see Zach Wilson's getting some sacks, but that's kind of going both ways as well. The Raiders, Jimmy G's been throwing interceptions, so I can see why they're going to be switching horses. We'll see what the new guy does. You see some fumbles over here for New York. We've seen that tonight in the game that as I'm watching right this minute. But the other thing I would point out is New York have been finding a way to get some explosiveness, whereas the Raiders, they just haven't been able to find it at all. So we'll see how that goes. Anyhow, if you like what you listen to, if you found this helpful, like and subscribe. And if you got a question or comment, drop me a note.